Sports! Some of us presumably watch them, so let's do something new and reimagine American football players as animals using Spec Evo. Hey everyone! Football is a sport where people run and smash into each other and throw a ball. Sounds simple enough, and with the Super Bowl being just around the corner, I believe my expertise in this matter should allow me to take all of this and turn it into a fun Spec Evo creature. Please hype, like and subscribe to make this video score a touchdown. And now, without further ado, let's get started. Sure, humans are alright at sports, but you know who's great at it? Animals. Many of them have skills that completely outclass us in many aspects, and so it's no wonder that they have become such an inspiration that modern sports teams still use them as symbols of their own potential. What better example of that than the gridiron armadillo? Scientifically named Oplotheras carphipodes, these animals may seem rather similar to armadillos, but they actually belong to a clade descended from the extinct Glyptodon, presenting other surviving members such as the Elmgassen and the chestnut. However, unlike their heavy extinct relatives, this clade survived thanks to their body plan, which is much better adapted to a more active lifestyle, with longer limbs and greater muscle mass. While their armor is lighter and covers a lower percentage of their body, their ability to run and actively pursue attackers give them an edge in the fight for survival, both against predators and against the humans that migrated to the area during the late Pleistocene. The gridiron armadillos are capable of standing on their hind limbs for short amounts of time, something they do to survey their surroundings and intimidate other animals. They are capable of doing this despite their large size and heavy weight thanks to their thick, heavy tail, which acts as a counterbalance. These animals are rather social, living in small packs short of a dozen members and their young, led by a dominant individual known as a quarterback. Despite this social unit is not led by violence, but by consensus, as many times the gridirons will choose to follow a stronger and more experienced individual to benefit from the advantages they represent, a behavior also observed in other animal species, such as the tree-spined stickleback. Each pack will keep its own territory, moving across it and eating as a unit. They will constantly wallow in the mud or dirt, helping them thermoregulate and get rid of parasites, but also acting as a form of socialization for them. Furthermore, as they do so, their dark armor will be tinged with their substrate, gaining a yellow, reddish or even bluish-gray coloration in the process. This uniform coloration, as well as the smell from the soil, will help members of the pack identify each other whenever they become separated. Younger males will leave these groups upon reaching maturity, which is indicated by their dark coloration and the development of a thick beard that protects them from the environment and strikes by other animals, as well as acting as a signal of their good health. These males will go looking for mates in nearby groups, and once they find one, they will dance for the potential mate, thus showing their strength, stamina and agility in spite of their massive weight, all valuable traits in a mate. These mating couples will last until a calf is born and reaches around 3 years of age, at which point they will be mature and capable of defending themselves without the aid of their parents, and during this time, the calves will play with one another constantly, thus learning the defensive techniques that will save them later in life. Upon facing a potential threat, the pack will divide itself in 2 small groups, as directed by the leading quarterback. The first of these, known as the defensive unit, will stand back and surround the calves, ensuring they are well protected, while the second group, the offensive unit, will line up at the front of the pack, forming a wide wall. The quarterback will roar as a final warning to the potential predators, and should this not desist, the entire unit will stampede, tackling and trampling any animal that does not escape in time. Since a tackle from these animals can very easily break bones, even the most determined predator will learn very quickly to stay far away from them. Gridiron armadillos are omnivores, and while they will consume carrion occasionally, predatory behavior is almost unheard of in this species. Most of their diet consists of plants, leaves, and fruit, and they tend to prefer a large fruit that grows in their environment and which provides most of the nutrients and energy they need, the pigskin fruit. So called due to its hard, leathery peel, which is similar to the tanned skin of such an animal, this fruit grows close to the ground, retaining a brown coloration and developing whitish markings as it ripens. Being as valuable as it is, packs with overlapping territories may at times find themselves competing aggressively over this food source, depending primarily on their defensive unit to do so. Competing packs will grab the valuable fruit and run away from the opposing pack, constantly passing it to other members of their own pack to confuse their opponents. Furthermore, competing armadillos will constantly tackle one another in their attempts to steal this fruit, their hard claws and keratinized soles acting as crampons, giving them traction as they run and stability as they hold their opponents in place. One may think this behavior would quickly spoil the very object of their battle, but all of this is simply part of the feeding process. The constant impacts endured by the pigskin will eventually break open its hard shell, giving the gridiron armadillos access to its delicious insides, as the task would otherwise prove hard enough even to their massive teeth. Given how the pigskin's flesh is so watery and sweet, and full of electrolytes, all their effort is understandable. Fascinatingly, there is evidence that some of the first humans to ever behold the battles between these organisms were not frightened by the violence before them, but inspired. The rough competition these animals engaged in does look pretty fun, and so these human populations began devising their own version of it, binding it with rules and creating uniforms that mimicked their image. The organisms that inspired this sport have not been forgotten, as many modern teams will use their powerful visage as their mascot, emblazing it across their uniforms and stadiums, even making their own electrolyte replenishing beverages derived from the very same fruit. The gentler side of these titans was captured as well by humans, as gridiron armadillos, especially the calves, are well known for playing with other non-predatory animals, and even seem to get along well with some dog breeds. In honor of this, similar sport leagues and events have been created where dogs and baby armadillos are the only players, showing the capacity of humans to find fun and even wholesomeness in the mightiest creatures. Now, how the greatest event of this sport became tied to another animal species, the superb owl, is a tale for another day. And that's it for a speculative biology look into American football players. And to begin with, huge thanks to Aloe Berries for commissioning this one. So this brought back one of my favorite things to do, adapting the look and patterns of human clothing into animals, something we've done with superheroes and some other characters in the past. And we included not only the protective gear, but also their special shoes and colorful uniforms. We also added a good dose of behavioral adaptations, something that can oftentimes fall by the wayside, but here only helped us tackle this episode head on. Get it? Because sports! And even the ball itself was added to this as its own organism, with its refreshing inside even referencing the kind of drinks sports people usually drink. No names, I'm not getting sponsored. You want the publicity? You gotta fork out. All in all, an extremely fun episode to work on. So I hope you liked it, and do tell me if you'd like to see any other sports being adapted into spec Evo creatures in this manner. Here's a big thank you to everyone who wanted to see this episode. Yes, all 2 of you, thank you so much. And also thank you to our researchers and research associates who support us through Patreon and YouTube memberships. And especially to our new member, Sam C. Thanks for joining! Remember, you too can join in if you want to support our channel, and you get some nice perks too, like seeing all of our creatures and videos ahead of time and helping mold them into shape. Or you can also like, subscribe, or write a comment telling me any type of creature you would like me to give the spec Evo treatment in the show. Any of those really help the channel a lot. Thank you all for watching, stay hydrated, and see you next time on the Speculative Wildlife Research Center.